Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to Minecraft Travel Tales. We've already got some monsters spawning in. In this series, I'm keeping busy between snapshots, news, and episodes of Dragon Boy by exploring a bunch of new world maps. But while we're traveling around, I'm going to take on the challenge of creating an improvised Minecraft-related story based on your suggestions down in the comments. Now, it might end up sounding like something you'd read scratched into the walls of an abandoned building, but the big question each episode is, can I survive and find cool stuff while hopefully crafting an engaging narrative for you guys? So let's find out. Pun may be intended there, but that does remind me, we should craft some stuff before we get too far because that skeleton could come after us. So this is a fresh map for your viewing pleasure, of course, and it's a customized world type, but rather than use any of the presets included, the vanilla presets, I got one from the comments, thanks to Sid the Minecrafter, and it has these kind of fractured floating islands that are really cool. So we're going to start by trying to get up top. I'll just make one shovel and one sword, and then we should be able to get some stone when we get a little higher up rather than digging down and risking falling into the water. And the water, I did raise the water level a little bit from what Sid had. The seed is also Sid, so it's very easy to remember. And of course, I'll put the download link for this map down in the description if you want to play along as well. Where'd my table go? Whoa, just flew off there. Okay, and this time, I'm just going to try to, hoof it, not using any Elytra wings or... The blocks are still flying around, even if I'm not. Not using Elytra or any of the special jumping abilities from Dragon Boy or anything like that. So we're just going to go with what we've got. Just trying to get a little bit of dirt here. Whatever dirt actually lands on me. And we'll take that to help us kind of stack up a little bit. I think I'm going to ride one of these water spouts and try to use that to get a bit higher up. So as far as the story goes, I did get a little story idea from Jared in the comments, and he said, an orange/pink watermelon trying to find its place in the world, or his place in the world. And I thought that would be a really unique kind of challenge to write something with a watermelon as the main character. So that's what we're going to go with. That looks like a pretty good one to try to climb up, or swim up rather. There's some coal there I can grab as well. So here we go. This is the story of a wandering watermelon trying to find his place in the world. So our story doesn't actually start out with a watermelon at all. He's not even born yet. This is about a person, a player. His name is Johnny Applesteve, and he was traveling the world looking for apples. He probably didn't have to go far from the biome he was born in to find any, but he's traveling around. He's an adventurous sort of player, and he found his way to the swamp one day, to a witch's home, a shack, or whatever you want to call it, a hut. I almost said a witch's a witch's bungalow. So anyways, there was a witch in there, and Johnny Applesteve, he was going to just take her out, just full crazy player style, PvP, slice her and dice her and take her out. But she bargained with him. She said, Johnny Applesteve, if that's your real name. She was very suspicious of him at this point because he did try to kill her. She said, hey, I'll bargain with you, young man, and if you spare my life, I will give you some magic seeds, and, they go really well with your name, conveniently, so here you go, you want these? And, Johnny Applesteve kind of grunted in reply. He wasn't really sure if this was a good bargain. He kind of wanted the redstone or whatever the witch might drop, but he went along with it. He just kind of nodded, and she handed him, with her nose, because her arms were crossed, she handed him these black seeds that were very strange looking, and he didn't really know what to do with them. But the witch gave him a little bit of advice. She said, do not plant these anywhere but in a jungle. They will fail to grow anywhere else in the world. Don't plant them in any biomes otherwise. And she started to lose her voice a little bit, and then she got it back. She remembered who she was. So anyway, she was advising him on how to farm using these seeds, and Johnny just went for it. It was risky, but he trusted the witch long enough to get those seeds. And he took them with him on his journey. He continued around the world. So Johnny's traveling around. he's running out of food, and he's got to do something. All he has on him are these little seeds. And he finds himself in a very snowy biome. Things are looking grim. No animals around, no nothing, and the world is very sparse at this point. So he didn't really know what to do. And so Johnny, he's thinking, if I die here, I gotta go all the way back to spawn. I'm gonna lose all my stuff. So he just decided, hey, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna plant one of these little seeds, or all of them. Even though there's a bunch of them, you gotta plant them all together. So he planted a bunch of seeds all in the ground in this snowy biome, and that didn't seem like the best idea at the time, but it was what he had to do to survive. So he's planting these seeds, and he must have waited. He waited so long. He waited forever. It must have been like 5 minutes, and the seeds didn't grow at all. So he was like, man, is the tick speed weird or something? He decided that he was just going to leave. He had to go find food. He made a split-second decision that he was going to have to go explore and look for food, because otherwise it didn't seem like he was going to be in a very good position here. He's going to starve to death, and that's not the way anybody wants to go out. So he decided, hey, I'm going for it. I'm leaving the seeds here. Maybe someone else will make use of them. He wasn't that bad of a guy, and he left the seeds there, and hopefully they would grow. But the witch said, don't plant them anywhere but the jungle, or you're gonna regret it because they won't grow. So yeah, he ignored her. He left the seeds there, and after a while, it must have been maybe 5 more minutes or so, the seeds started to sprout, and a watermelon started to grow. But it was strange. It was orange colored. It started to grow into a big, full watermelon. It must have taken many more minutes to fully grow from its stem. And it was just a very strange orange watermelon. It might have been affected by the climate. Maybe it was the magic inside those seeds. Maybe it was all the hope in the world, the smile of every baby that made those seeds the way they were. But it was an orange watermelon, and it was unique. And it started to think to itself. It thought, this is weird. We're changing main characters in the middle of the story. But the watermelon thought to itself, and it was like, Why am I orange? Why am I not green like every other watermelon in the world? I know is just born or grown, but I don't understand why I'm different. But that didn't matter. The watermelon thought, hey, no matter what, I'm gonna be going on my way in this world. So it began to grow. It got bigger and bigger, and it became, a large orange watermelon, as weird as it was. But it still had the pink, insides, the delicious watermelons. I'm not a big fan of watermelon personally. A little bit of a narrator's note, but yeah, there's lots of people that love watermelon. They're delicious to most of the people of the world that aren't weird. So yeah, it grew, and it was kind of stuck there. The snow was harsh. It was starting to maybe look a little withered, despite having there's no wither around, but it was withered despite being a strong looking watermelon originally. But eventually the snow and the fatigue started to wear on our hero, the wandering watermelon. It could not wander, which is very ironic for its name. So the watermelon, it thought to itself, hey, I should probably stop moving around here wiggling so much, because I'm really getting hungry, and my insides, they're starting to feel strange. But anyways, another character popped up, a little chicken. He walked right up to the watermelon and said, excuse me, sir, but I'm a very kindly southern chicken. I don't know why I have this voice, but I'm looking for that there Kirby. But anyways, how are you doing, sir? If you wouldn't mind, I see that you are of the fruit variety, and maybe I might take a little peck off of your face meat. And, I'd very much appreciate it. I'm just a kindly old chicken, and I'm very cold out here in this wintry, snowy biome. Could you maybe, perchance give me a bit of your rind, or maybe your delicious fruit inside, I reckon? And, the watermelon, he said, I guess that would be okay. I'm using this. It's not the best to, have your rind eaten. I don't know if you know what it's like, Mr. Chicken, but yeah, he sympathized with the chicken, so he said, okay, just peck a little bit of that, rind out of my face, and, leave some for other people. And the chicken said, "I'm in a bit of a predicament here, so I thank you kindly for letting me eat your face off." And he pecked a little bit off of his face, and it was good. It tasted delicious, even though it was getting a little older. It did seem like it was much better than the chicken was expecting. So the chicken thanked him kindly, and he left and journeyed on his way. And then next, another creature came. This time it was a llama, a very strange creature that you might not expect to find in the world of Minecraft. But here it was, out of nowhere, a llama in Minecraft. And the llama came up and said, "Excuse me, I'm a very kindly llama here. I don't mean to toot my own wool or whatever, but yeah, I'm a very kindly llama, and I'm starving here. I mean, I'm so far away. I from my home, which is most likely the extreme hills. We don't really know yet, or even if I am real. But anyways, I'm looking for a bit of a meal, if you wouldn't mind, sir. I'm a very aristocratic llama, and I'm trying to get way over yonder, where things look a little bit safer. But if you would help me with a little meal, I wouldn't mind to have that, and I would thank you for it." So sorry, spoiler alert. Could bleep that. The melon. It wasn't a swear. The melon said, "Hey, okay, you can just, you see what the chicken did to me? I don't know if you were here for that. It was kind of grisly, but if you saw what that chicken did, maybe you could do the same. Just, take a little bit off the face and leave some for others if they need, some sustenance as well." So the llama agreed, and he took a big chunk, kind of close to where the chicken ate that chunk, and he took that out of the little kindly watermelon's face, and there we go. He went on his way. He thanked the watermelon, of course, but he left and took a bit of a chunk and got a full stomach out of it. So it was very nice. The llama was very happy, just like the chicken, very appreciative. Now, next up came a pig. And pigs, as we know, are delicious in and of themselves, if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, the pigs, by eating a pig, I mean. The pig came up, there was just one of them, and who knows what happened to the others. Dun dun dun. So yeah, the pig came up and he said, "Excuse me, Mr. Melon, I'm very hungry, boo." He said the same spiel, and the melon said, "Okay, just, don't take too much." The pig, being a pig though, he took a huge chunk out of the bottom of the melon, and it was not a good thing because that was a big chunk out of the melon. He was still okay, but it was still, unfortunate that chunk was gone because he was starting to run out of rind and fruit to share with others. So the pig, he apologized profusely. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just so hungry, and I needed that sweet fruit." So yeah, the melon was forgiving. He said, "Okay, that's fine. We can't go back on it now. You ate a huge chunk of my face. What are we gonna do about it? Let's not hold a grudge." And the pig left, and the melon, cold, shivering, he's losing a lot of his rind now with all of the crazy amounts of cold that he's been hit with. The inside, the pink fruit has started to turn to kind of a gross, like, white color, and it doesn't look very appetizing anymore. So the melon's thinking around. He's like, "I got to do something here. The sun's going down. It's getting colder. Something has to give, either me or this weather, and I've got to get out of this place." So he cried out. He said, "I don't know if I can survive this night. Please, I need some help, someone." And guess who heard him in the distance? It was the little chicken. The chicken came up. He said, "Oh, I thought I heard a little melon baby whining like a big chicken. I know I'm a chicken myself, but that insult it still stands." So yeah, he came up and he was like, "What can I do you for?" And the melon said, "If you could help me get out of here, I'm really in a bad way." And the chicken said, "Hey, I can't really do much being a chicken myself, but I have gathered these sticks here. They were going to go into my nest. I also have a few pieces of coal. Maybe these could heat you up." So the chicken brought those over. And the llama, he also heard the call. He answered the call, and he popped up and said, "Oh, excuse me, I couldn't help but hear that you needed help." And the pig also, he heard, and he wasn't that far away, so he popped in and said hello. And it was just a party, basically. And the pig said, I can't do much for you, but things are scary out there. But I could, roll up some snow, make you higher up a little bit. Maybe that'd warm you up. So that was what he did. He bunched up a bunch of snow with his snout, and gathered it up. And then the llama said, "Here, let me put you up top of the snow." And the little watermelon sat on top of the snow. The chicken put the coal on him because chickens are not that smart. And he thought that would warm him up. He said, "Excuse me, I don't know how coal works. I'm just a lowly chicken." And he put the sticks on his arms, and magically something happened that day. Something very bizarre, and it's something maybe we could even recreate if we were in a colder biome here. So let me leave this by. I don't want to don't want to belabor the point and have the story go on too long. But I just realized we could actually make this a reality. So, if you haven't guessed by now, things were looking up for this little melon here. There was a bunch of snow sitting under him. He was in a great place where he had everything he really needed to get around, and he couldn't really move that much. But at the same time, he had hope that one day he would move. He had a cool vantage point, and you know what? The chicken, the llama, and the pig, they spit right on him, and the magic of their tears and their spit turned him into a living little creature, and he decided to wander. He wandered to and fro, he wandered onto a tree, and he wandered out of that snowy biome, and he's still wandering today, spreading the weird seeds that come out of his head, and he created a delicious Halloween time vegetable or fruit. I'm not sure which it is. A lot of those are kind of changing every day now. But yeah, he created a delicious treat that a lot of people enjoy, or at least putting the spice of it in their drinks and in their, whatever they happen to be eating. And he created the delicious pumpkin. So there we go. I've got some food. I could take shelter here. This is kind of a tough map to get around. No offense to Sid, but thank you, Sid, for the preset. And of course, if you want to explore farther, yeah, I had to have a lot of blocks to really get around. But we got a little bit of a base here. We had an Enderman hanging around. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions for seeds or maps, it doesn't have to be a newly generated map. We could explore a pre-built map and see some cool stuff that way as well to mix it up. And of course, any story ideas if you want to hear my idea of what that story might be like, then let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time for more Minecraft Travel Tales. I'm gonna hide in here for the night. Goodbye.